Hey guys, welcome to another video. So because it's college application season, I thought that my friends and I would just give you guys a little bit of advice on what to do with your application, what our general college experience has been like, because we're all freshmen and we know like during this time it's definitely kind of weird. So just thought we would give you some insight into that. All right, so we'll just start with introducing ourselves by saying our like extracurriculars, what we believe the highlight of our application was, and maybe we'll say like our major or what we're interested in right now. Okay. Do you want to start, Benjamin?
I'm Ben. I'm a first year at Yale. In high school, I did student council. I did science team and swim team, and those are probably like things I put the most time into. I'm studying computer science and biology, sort of like tacitly pre-med. Everyone at Yale seems to be pre-med, but like, I don't know, I'm figuring out what I want to do with my life. I think the high point of my application was sort of just like generally, I'm very into academics, so I put a lot of time into my classes and also just like community service and building community. And also my interview, I think that for me went quite well for Yale and probably helped me where I've ended up.
I guess I can go next. Hi, I'm Charles. I'm also a first year at Yale with Benjamin.
Yay.
So I guess in high school, I did kind of a lot of the academic clubs like math team, science Olympiad, that kind of stuff. And I was also on the swim team with Ben.
We're the only two seniors.
So I think beyond that, I spent a lot of my summers like doing internships and labs, and I think that probably was the high point of my application, just like showing interest into chemistry and like just like how much time I put into that field. I'm hoping to become a chemical engineer in the future, probably trying to double major in chems, but we'll see.
Hi, I'm Kepler. I am a freshman at Penn, and let's see. I'm not really sure what I'm majoring in right now. I'm currently in like the College of Arts and Sciences, but I'm thinking about switching to the engineering school so that I can study material science. I'm also pre-med, and I guess, so my extracurriculars, in high school I did student council with Ben, I did like a little bit of community service, and I did karate and singing, which I think were my two like fun things, and then I also did economics research outside of school. And then I think like those were that was like my strong point, like just like things I did. I wouldn't say like my essays were like super stellar, and like my interviews just went okay, so.
Well, as you guys know, I'm Donna. I go to UChicago. Hopefully you've seen the vlogs. But in high school, I did a little bit of student council in my senior year. I was also on the swim team, but the girls team, for a very long time. Mostly I feel like my spike was probably in finance, econ, that kind of sector. I did like a lot of internships in that field, but I think coming into college, after I thought about it more, I decided to look more into biology and possibly being pre-med, because I feel like it's easier to switch out of pre-med than into it, so I decided to start off on this track. But in general, I feel as though my application was pretty like well-rounded, and I feel like nowadays a lot of people say that that's the absolute thing you don't want to do. And while I wouldn't gun for being like a well-rounded applicant, I will say like if you realize now in the application process that you are a well-rounded applicant, that is okay. It's not the end of the world, and as long as you push kind of what you're still passionate about, like the colleges will see that, and that will be okay.
I would argue I was also pretty well rounded. Like I did a lot of different things. I think I knew what I was interested in doing and like did things related to biology and computer science, but like that's not what I put all of my time into. Like I did other things. I did student council, I swam. Yeah. And like I enjoy doing those things. You should do the things that you find fun as well. Like don't kill yourself over a single like interest.
Yeah, I think everyone here is into STEM, and I would say like I had a really big interest in STEM, but I also enjoy doing a lot of other things, so it like doesn't hurt to go into other fields.
I don't really have anything to add, but just like, yeah, you can do whatever you want, and then, yeah, you can always switch, so it doesn't have to be like what you want to do in the future.
Yeah, true. So
Classes.
first question about classes. How has it been for you guys?
It was good. I knocked out some prereqs, but I also took a seminar on religion and science fiction, which was great. I think being online, like, it was nice to have a smaller class where I got to know people more, and like it was just subjects I was interested in. So I definitely enjoyed sort of like having something different from, I was taking general chemistry and an introduction to computer science and Spanish. So it was kind of nice having something that was different from that. But overall, like, I really enjoyed my classes the first semester.
Yeah, I think I feel pretty much the same way. So I did, most of my classes were also prereqs and like STEM focused, but I did take an art class, which was really fun, something I didn't think that I'd be doing, but I had a great time with that. And then other than that class, it was just like Spanish, my chem class, math, and pretty much that's it. So like, it was a lot of work at first, but I think eventually like you get used to the flow of things and it just gets easier over time.
I think you should mention that you're an Orgo.
Well,
Yeah. He's an Orgo, guys. Big brain.
Big brain.
Big brain.
I'm just surrounded by pre-meds everywhere.
That's true. Not the actual physical
Yeah, but literal
surroundings.
Yeah, so my classes went like fine. I enjoyed them, I would say, like equally as much as high school. I took stats, a writing seminar, and linguistics, like BC Calc, like that thing, but in college, our version, and then engineering general chemistry, and they were all like fine. Like I didn't have like a spectacular experience in any of them, but definitely like your first quarter, semester, whatever, just like take it easy because you don't want to overload.
Yes.
That's true. That I tried to do that too, which is why like I took a full load, but for my fourth class, I tried to take like an art history class called Art and the Visual Culture of Medicine. Would recommend you come to UChicago. It counted for my art credit too, which was really nice. But I took Gen Chem, Calc 152, and then that art history course. What was the last class that I did?
Hume.
Oh yeah, Hume! Poetry and the Human. Oh my god. Sorry, Professor Saltzman. I love that class. But yeah, overall, I definitely, coming in, I was like, oh, the classes are going to be super hard because it's UChicago and grade deflation. But honestly, I think it turned out okay. Like, as like a pre-med at UChicago, I think it's fine. So if you are pre-med and you want to come to UChicago, don't be afraid. At least from this first quarter, maybe talk to me again after Gen Chem 112. But yeah, I think it's honestly not bad at all.
I don't know. I felt like the grading was appropriate.
Yeah. They say we have inflation, right?
I don't know. It felt like high school.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Ooh,
yeah.
My bad. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it wasn't like awful. I think the like workload and like grading was fair. Like in all my classes, I didn't feel like gypped or anything.
It's not easy. Like, you do have to like learn how to manage your work and learn
Right.
how to manage your time because there is a lot more work than high school. Like, my seminar was great, but there were also weeks when I would have 400 to 500 pages of reading, and I was like, okay, I need to like budget my time well to get through this. So you will learn time management if you don't already have good time management.
I would say there's also inflation at Penn. Like probably.
I mean, I also feel like with colleges though, you can pick and choose like how hard you want it to be. It's very much like how difficult do you want your life to be?
Yeah, the
and
inflation.
how much do you want to
also,
learn?
the inflation I think matters most on what class you take.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But also something that I've noticed about college classes is that you do more work outside of class than you do like in class.
Yeah.
Like I feel like in high school you do a lot of the learning while in school because you're spending like 7 hours a day just at school. But in college, like maybe I'll have like 2 hours of class every day.
Yeah.
Maybe like 4 on a heavy day. But most of the time I'm just reading textbooks. Like I'm just reading Oxtoby for hours.
I say like try to like make your schedule start at or after 10 a.m. and then end before like 5.
Unless you're a morning person.
Which none of us are. One thing to add, I'd say also is like it's very good to learn how to like teach yourself material because I feel like in lecture we don't cover everything. Like there's gonna be a lot of topics that you're gonna have to like read the textbook yourself or go look up and like learn it yourself or with other people.
Is there a such thing as a class Yale, Penn, or UChicago student?
I really want to say pre-med because I'm
Yes! Oh my god!
so many
There are
pre-meds
so
everywhere.
Literally.
All I see are pre-meds.
I think it's a bit of a Yale cliche that like half the class goes in pre-med, but like
The other
thing
half
is-
goes in the econ.
Yeah, no, but like the thing is you discover a lot more careers and a lot more things that are interesting to you.
Consulting. But that's like econ.
No, it's not that it's too hard. Like if you want to be a doctor, you will be able to be a doctor. Like you have the resources that have the help to be able to like make it through your classes, but just that people discover other things they're interested in.
Would you say it like lives up to its reputation as like a nerdy school?
Yes. Oh my, everyone is incredibly nerdy.
Yeah, that's true. All of my friends are like STEM, so I might be like a little biased, but I would say like everyone here is definitely driven to like do a lot of things. Like basically everyone I know is in like, I don't know, 50 million extracurriculars or like trying to find a research job or something like that. I would say that like it's really inspiring being around people who are like super motivated. So it's like I find myself being pushed as well to like do stuff and like, you know, beyond being a potato.
I wouldn't say there's like a typical Penn student, but I would say that like pretty much everybody that I've talked to has just been, I mean it might be just because of COVID, but like everybody's just like really excited to like reach out and like talk to you for anything, which like might go for everybody, but I just feel like especially now like everybody's super friendly.
Do you think that there are more people who like want to major in econ at Penn? Or is that just like
Yeah, low-key,
Yes.
definitely.
The word.
Because, so if you're in Wharton, you have to major in economics. So, yeah, we probably have like,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
you have to.
Yeah.
And then you can like put like a concentration like stats or like, I don't know, maybe behavioral economics. So yeah, there are a lot of, it's like, especially my math class, like everybody pretty much takes the class I took. So you have a big spread.
For UChicago, I feel like there's like the stereotype that like there's just like that gamer guy who like is very much a nerd. but
We
also-
saw that.
Hey,
Wait,
That's Charles.
No, not
Wait,
Charles,
stop.
not Charles, not Charles.
Wait, stop.
I'm not exaggerating. No, Charles
I'm
is
being
out
bullied,
and
dude.
about.
Charles, did you running up to Polly every night?
No. Okay, but at UChicago, there's like that stereotypical UChicago guy who's like, you know, just locked in his room and just studying for ages, which I actually do see, and it's honestly like low-key inspiring.
Inspiring.
Here.
Yes.
But there's also like that stereotypical trope about like the econ bro who's just like here to just make his bling bling and like cash out. A lot of people do major in econ at UChicago just because it's such like a great place to do that, and if there's anywhere that you like want to learn econ and also be a dark intellectual, yeah, UChicago is a pretty good place for that. But in general, like the people I see here, they don't have like a specific interest. Like there's nothing that like unites them other than the fact that everyone is like literally everyone is so ambitious and driven. Like honestly, going from high school to college, I do feel like there's like an elevated level of like intensity. Like almost everyone I know is very diligent. Like I'll be like, hey, do you want to like hang out or like have lunch together? And they'll be like, no, I have to work on this. Or sometimes I'll be the one who's like, no, I have to watch my chem lecture video while eating lunch. But it's just like everybody does have a good amount of self-control, and like it is very much more intense, I think, than high school in that respect. But no like one major dominates.
Yeah, I would say that's similar. Though I think Yale has a very big work hard, play hard atmosphere. Like, definitely there were in like the middle, like during the long midterm season, there'd be like Friday and Saturday nights, people would be in the library until like 11 or 12, like working on piece sets and writing essays, and then people would like go have fun and like hang out with friends. But it was like you work a lot, and like when you're in the library, you are working, and people are very intense, which I enjoyed. I do also have a brief story which Donna can't cut out, but I feel they need to share it because it's fun. There was like one day when I like got back from a run.
And my roommate was working on a piece set for Math 230, which is like Yale introductory math class for majors, it's like learning how to do proofs. But he was like, they had to like pick something that they wanted to prove, and he was like talking about a tiling problem, which is where you have a n-by-n grid and you have tiles that have specific shapes, and you have to figure out, is it possible to completely fill that grid with those tiles? And I just got really interested, I was like, okay, but I just have like, and I approached everything very algorithmic, okay, what's some algorithm to give it a specific thing, figure out the optimal tiling pattern. So then we just got like a giant stack of math paper, and we sat there, and I was like a little technology that I just felt for a while. I was sat like on the floor for a good time, for shape, we sat there for like probably an hour and a half, just like working on a tiling problem, and we came up with a pretty good general solution for an n-by-1 tile, figure out how to tile it in an n-by-n You're really good like jazz, but that's like very much the deal.
Time. We just like did this problem, which had no bearing to absolutely anything because we both found it very interesting.
Yeah, that was a really good story.
Anyways.
If I can add something, I would say that I didn't experience that as much, where like you have a lot of people like studying a lot. Like I'm sure that everybody was studying, but I think that like every time like there was a lot of social stuff, probably because of COVID. They were like trying to make stuff happen.
Yeah, true.
But I think that like even like when I was on campus, like everyone was just like, oh my god, let's like go out like low key on a Thursday night, which was like a lot of fun, and I think pretty common.
It's like some people have it on track where they'll like study during the day and then go to bed at 9 and wake up at 7. But literally, who are they? I've seen like 2 of them. But I feel like most people will like hang out with their friends and then they'll grind like alone, or they'll grind in the library with their friends, or like, you know, there's some people who prefer to have their study friends and their social friends be the same, and like you'll probably study with them.
Okay, so opposite side of the spectrum here. Not me being peer pressured to hang out with someone and then doing work until like 4 a.m. the next day. You have the ability to make bad decisions.
Yes.
You do.
I think if you go to Wharton, there's no lectures on Fridays. So keep that in mind, but don't go.
Kepler is very jealous of the Wharton kids.
I'm literally jealous. They don't have Friday classes.
Okay, next question. Do you guys have any tips for crafting your application?
Write about what you find interesting.
I think the essay is probably the most important part. Gotta say, compared to like all the other things, I think the essay is like the most useful scale, because like numbers are like not really great for measuring things. That's kind of like that doesn't make sense.
Measuring things.
Numbers are not great for measuring things. So
the entire point.
like stats are like useful to an extent because they're only like a surface level. You just look at the number and you're like, okay, cool, that's a number. But like with the essay, you're really able to like go show a bit more character in the essay, because there's like more to interpret than just like, oh, you got a good score. Good for you.
I mean, I think writing about something that you find really interesting and you're passionate about is important, but also just like talking about things you did in a way that's interesting. Their Common App has like the additional information section, and I use that to talk about what I did one summer and like explain what I did, like what the large project was, what I actually worked on, and like what I learned and why I thought it was interesting, which is just like, okay, this will have some impact on my life, but like I'm just talking about things I've done. Like it's then up to the admissions officers to judge like, okay, is this someone who will fit in? So you should give them like as much information about who you are and what you've done as you can.
I would say also for Y essays, something I did for like most of my schools, which worked, was I would like look up classes. Like if there's a Y major, like look up classes in the major and then like literally write down like the name of the course. Or like if you're interested in doing research, you can like find a professor like economics research in X, and then like professors at UChicago, and then you can just literally just like name drop them, even though you don't know them, and then maybe it'll seem like you know them, I don't know, but either way, it's okay, and you can just like make it, show that you've done your research, like name buildings that you want to go to, like name like clubs you want to join.
Who do you think would enjoy being at Yale? Like what kind of person? Okay.
Okay, Ben.
Thanks, Ben.
I don't know.
And like likewise for Penn.
I think if you like, I don't know, if you're excited about meeting people.
Like I feel like if you're a very social person.
But you don't have to be social. But if you are, I think you'll thrive. And then if you're not social,
there's a place for that too.
You'll find like social people to like help you, or not social people to like work. It doesn't matter. I think that like I haven't really met someone who's like not social though. That's definitely true. And then also I would say that like also people that I've talked to are like really excited about like visiting the city and stuff. So like maybe like if you're looking into like city schools, like yeah, Penn is a good place too. Yeah. Because it's like pretty close.
Yeah. I would say the same for
UChicago is also close, yeah. Okay. To downtown.
We are not. I think Yale like very much is like academics come first for most people there. Like even though you're at college, like I don't know, even if you're a recruited athlete to Yale, like everyone is very focused on their academics. It's like I think people go into Yale with the mindset, I'm here to study this thing that I find incredibly interesting, but then also to like meet people and like sort of like find yourself and find a community.
Yeah, I would say like a lot of the people are definitely more academically focused than anything else. I mean, it's kind of hard for me to describe like, you know, the general person, but I would say that like there's a big sense of community in the college, and like usually everyone just finds a place where they'll fit in. So it's like you can't really like, you know, just pick a certain type of person, because like honestly like probably a lot of people would fit in at Yale because there's just like so many diverse groups. Like basically like you can go anywhere and fit in.
Mm-hmm.
What advice would you have for interviews? Because I feel like not a lot of people say how to do them.
You want to, yeah, I would say like you want to get the interviewer to like talk about themselves. I feel like a really easy thing to do is just like ask them questions about their life, and like they'll start talking about themselves, and it'll feel like more like a normal conversation and less of an interview. I mean, for some interviewers it's like hit or miss, because some people like have a schedule, or like they have certain questions they want to hit, or like maybe they just don't want to talk at all. But I think like definitely the human part of the interview is very important, like showing that you are, you know, a cool person, you are passionate about these things. Like, you know, not that you like your goal shouldn't be just to like, I should advertise why I should get into the school, but like show them that you are a human being with passions, interests, goals.
I think that like there are a few things that you can like kind of easily prepare for. I would say get a book in the movie that you like really like, and you could talk about it just for a bit. Maybe look up your interviewer beforehand if you can. Don't do zero research, like on the school. I don't know. Like everybody knows, like for my Penn interviewer, he was like, oh, like, what are you excited about for Penn? And I like literally couldn't come up with anything, and I was like, the river? I was like, I'm so excited for the river, like, it's unimaginable. And he was like, oh, great, do you know how to pronounce it? I was like, oh, it's like, oh no, like, I don't know how to pronounce it. And I was so lucky because it's like hard to pronounce or something. It's like Skoogle and spelled like SCH something. Anyways, don't do zero research. One thing I would also say is that if you are applying to a school in your area, then you want a reason for why you want to stay. So like I remember being asked for like Northwestern, like why do you even want to like stay in Chicago? But you know, just like say why you do love like your hometown or like something like that. True. I think that's also important.
And another thing that I do want to say about the interview is a lot of people are like, oh, the interview is just to make sure that you're not some like psycho, which yes, true. But at the same time, like the interview, I don't think will ever hurt you, as like people have probably said like 1,000 times now. But I do think that like if you do have a good interview, it definitely is nice.
Yeah.
Maybe more for some other schools than, you know, than all of them, but you know, having like a good interview will not only, honestly, it will make you want to go to that school more, I feel like, and also it's just like it's the only human part of the application, so I think it does matter. Do you want to talk about why you chose Yale and Penn, UChicago?
So I applied to Yale early, which I had a like long decision process about like, okay, do I want to go? And ultimately I think I decided I wanted to go to Yale simply because I'm like still not completely committed to what I want to study. I wanted to go to a large school where I could do research in a lot of different fields. And Yale is very big on their whole interdisciplinary thing. And for a lot of classes, that is kind of true. Like there are a lot of classes that are like very cross-listed and very interdisciplinary, and a lot of interdisciplinary research. And I really wanted to be able to do that. But I also, I said vibe earlier, but I did really vibe with a lot of people who I knew who went to Yale, and like my experience on campus. I referenced like when I visited, I was able to visit, and I went on the STEM tour, and like the tour guide there, like I kind of just clicked with, and she talked about her experience, and I was like, okay, sort of all the research she did, like the friends that she made, like that really sounded appealing to me. And ultimately I was like, okay, I can really see myself here. So I ended up applying. Also I wanted to go somewhere that was pretty nerdy and academically rigorous and, you know, fulfills that. So I was like, okay, great. Because I'm a nerd.
Okay, so I did not apply to Yale early. I applied regular decision, and I guess sometime in, I think, January, February, they sent me like a likely letter, and they basically sent me just a bunch of propaganda to get me to apply. Honestly, it worked. Honestly, it worked. But I didn't just go to Yale because they sent me stuff. I really liked, I guess, the liberal arts vibe that Ben was talking about, like where yes, I'm focused in STEM, but I will be doing other things, and I do want to like explore beyond STEM because I do think like, other topics like philosophy, English, like even the art class, those were all like really fun. So just being able to branch out beyond that, I'd say also big reason why I want to go is like I really want to go East Coast. So like Yale being on the East Coast was like perfect fit for me. And yeah, I guess the tour was amazing. Like when I visited, like I didn't visit for very long, but like I went on one of the tours. The campus was beautiful. Like I don't know, I just really loved it there.
I think the biggest thing for me was I like considered myself like kind of like social like throughout high school, and so I wanted to continue that vibe going into college, and like people call Penn like a really social school, so I was like, that's good. And then like I was talking to like some people from our high school that had gone, and that was like also like a lot of fun, just like to reach out to them, and they made me realize that I think it would be a good fit. Penn is like really pre-professional, I think, especially compared to UChicago and Yale, which like it like depends on what you want.
Yeah.
So like
you can also be very intellectual.
yeah, you can be
like,
academic.
research. Yeah.
But I would say that's something that I did want. There's like a lot of pre-med opportunities, and then also I did realize like partway through the process that I wanted a city school a lot. Just because like I'm from downtown Chicago, and that's like something that I would really miss if I had to go like somewhere kind of rural. So yeah, I would say that I was mostly deciding between like it was a hard decision between like a few city schools, and yeah, I just mostly chose Penn because it was like pre-professional, and then also far from Chicago.
Yeah.
I love Chicago; it's the best city in the world.
Yeah.
But I just wanted like a little bit of a break.
Yeah. I mean, the four of us are from Chicago, and so me going to UChicago, at first I was like, I don't know if this is what I want to do, because I was like, I literally live on campus. Like, I'm not gonna be going away to college. I'm just gonna be like moving down the block. And so for a while I wasn't really sure if UChicago was the right place for me. Obviously now I'm the happiest I've ever been, so it definitely is. But I do remember during the application process, I was kind of drawn to UChicago because they're like kind of unique, and they're like adamant pursuit of the freedom of speech. And that's something that I really wanted at college, because I really wanted to like have a lot of room for different perspectives, even if I believe the perspective is just wrong. I want to, I don't know, test myself, test my own beliefs, and have like this atmosphere where I'm not afraid to say anything, the other person's not afraid to say anything, and I guess in that way we can be more genuine to ourselves, and also just find, I don't know, it's just like the pursuit of truth, no matter how scary it is. And I really, really enjoyed that, and I wrote about it in my UChicago essay. I think it's actually the only thing I wrote about. I only wrote about the freedom of speech, and I think ultimately that's what pushed me to be like, this is the school that I want to go to, because it is like unique and weird. That's another thing, like I do feel as though sometimes, especially during the college process, when researching, you'll be like, these colleges are all the same. And in some respects they are, but they definitely do have their unique aspects. And I think that's what will make your why essay kind of stand out, if you can find that unique aspect. And maybe the unique aspect will be different for like different people, because I don't know, they're just looking for different things. But in general, like you do want to find maybe where that college is a little different. Like you can't say interdisciplinary more than, I don't know, 10 times in your application. Yeah, I don't know. I definitely did. So that's on my part. But last question: how do you deal with the waiting period?
Ice cream.
Ice cream for that.
Yeah, I don't know. I ate a lot of ice cream. Put it out of your mind. Do not talk about it with yourself. Do not talk about it with your friends that much. Do not talk about it with your family. Just kind of forget it and enjoy the winter of your senior year.
Yeah, I think like after writing all my essays, my brain kind of shut down, and I just stopped thinking about college altogether, and that was like really great for my health in general. I think I would have been a lot more stressed if I was like waiting for a decision.
Yeah, I definitely like still talked about it with people.
Mhm,
I would say
me
that
too.
I just like talked about it, and it was like fine because everyone's pretty much in the same place as you.
Yeah.
One thing I did like on decision day was I like went to bed. I just watched TV until like 10 a.m. or something, and then when I woke up, like I just opened it, so I didn't have to think about it that day.
Big brain Kepler.
So definitely, yeah, small brain move, but
No.
it worked really well. So I would like recommend, yeah, kind of like as Ben said, put it out of your mind. I guess you can't do that for like 4 months,
Yeah.
but like you can still just like like don't like do the things that you've always loved to do.
Yeah.
Don't let it
And
stop you from doing things.
Yeah.
you want.
yeah, and make sure you like experience senior year. Like
Yes.
don't let
Yeah.
it like
I mean, that is a little hard this year, but like,
yeah.
Try if you
Yeah.
can. Yeah.
Yeah, don't just like quit things because you're like or you can quit things. No shame in quitting.
do the things, but do the
But-
things
Be
you
a
enjoy.
quitter.
Be a quitter.
No.
Quit the things you hate. Keep doing the things you love. Just do the things that matter to you.
Yeah, I think like for me, it's very much the opposite. I think because I'm like a very social person, the way I de-stress is by like talking about my stresses with people. So also as someone who's kind of like a worrywart, like I will not stop thinking about something, and it's hard for me to put it out of my mind. Like I just can't. Even if I'm like working out, I'll be like working out and I'll be like, when are the decisions coming out? Or I'll be like, what about that one thing I said during that interview? It's just like I'm constantly plagued by those thoughts. But something that I found was, and I know some schools don't have this kind of environment, but talking about it with your friends, like even like people that you didn't really talk to before, like you'll find ways to bond over this horrible, like excruciating process. And it honestly helped me feel closer to everyone in my grade because we had gone through this together, and like it just helped me de-stress. So if you can't put it out of your mind, like I would really recommend just talking, not to your parents, unless you have cool parents. I mean, not to say my parents are cool, but I just didn't want to talk to them about the process. Like talk to your friends about it if it helps, if you're in that kind of like good environment where you can do that. Definitely throughout the entire process, the process was pretty brutal for me. Like mentally, it was not my favorite thing to go through, but overall, I do feel like a different person because of it, and like a better person because of it. Like I came out on the other side happier with who I am now than I was before the process. And I will say that like people always say it ends up being fine. And if you told me that last like April or May, I would have been like, don't talk to me right now. But now that like we're in college, like it really does turn out fine. Like, and maybe not like the best ever. You got into your dream school. No, that probably maybe won't.
you will have hard days.
Yeah, you'll have
regardless.
hard days, maybe hard months. But no matter what college you go to, I won't say that it's completely irrelevant to your future. No, that's not true. But you'll still do the things that you will want to do if you've always wanted to do them. And like the name of the college really isn't everything. And life will still be good as long as you believe that it will be and you try your best to make it. So I don't know. Don't stress too much. Don't let it control you. Because it definitely controlled me and it was not good. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Good luck, everybody.
Have fun.
good luck. Oh my god.
Have fun editing.
Thanks,
so-
Ben. This is
so
a long video. Yeah, well, oops, Ben, don't get hit by the lamp. Thanks for watching, guys. If you want to see more content like this, subscribe, give it a like. Yeah, I guess I'll see you guys in the next video. Oh, leave your questions in the comments below. Maybe I'll try to answer them. But no questions about stats. That's the one thing. No questions about stats. We don't do that kind of toxic culture here.
Yeah.
Okay. Bye. See you guys in the next video.